Okay, welcome back. This time round, it's going to be a support Geberino game. Woo! He's going to be playing Geb in the support role. Obviously, I just said that. Let's just rinse repeat what I said. 21-minute game where he goes 0, 8, and 2. Oh no, this one's a bit brutal. He doesn't tell me what division he's in. How do you think you played? Fairly well, although I could have stayed in lane a bit more. Last week's the game, did you struggle with staying in lane with my AD carry as he had problems dealing with Artemis and team fights? Okay, whilst was the game you feel comfortable with? Rotating, timings, warding. This was a pre-made, so feel free to talk about shot calls and stuff. Okay. Right, first thing to note then, this is a pre-made game. You said you stayed in lane to deal with the Artemis because your teammate was having trouble with them. Well, it's Anher versus Artemis, okay? It's Anher versus Artemis, and the one thing to note that if you cannot deal as a hunter player, if your hunter gets behind, you have two options. It's one, babysit the cluck out of him, and if you're not going to babysit the cluck out of him, what you need to do instead is you need to leave him to his own devices and leave him to farm under the tower. Now, Anher can farm under the tower quite easily with his Impale, once he's got a few Devours gone online and stacked, and you need to be rotating to support the rest of the team and make them big and strong if Artemis is big. Because if you do stay in the lane and Bacchus doesn't in this game, what's going to end up happening is that Bacchus is going to get more rotations, more golden experience. Your Hunter is going to get further behind because you're sharing experience too much more. And also in the fight, Bacchus is actually going to be influencing other things. He's going to be influencing fights across the map that you're not going to be involved in. Why do we have 2 wards in our inventory and 3 health potions and no mana potions? Are we not planning on using a skill here purely? Is that the issue? We're just going to sit in lane and not use anything. Is that the game plan? I'm just going to check if those are actually your wards that are placed here. Okay, they were your wards. So you went back to base and you bought more wards. Interesting. Now, the only thing you could say here is you don't necessarily need that much mana, because you're going to have the regen coming out from Watcher's Gift. So the extra ward purchases aren't the worst decision in the world. I can see a sort of reason to do that, potentially. Potentially. But I'm not 100% certain I like that idea. It would have been nice for you to have the mana potions. So purple gets dropped, everything's fine, to lane we go. One thing to note, shield does not stop knock-up anymore, so... And this matchup, honestly, is definitely in Bacchus. Bacchus versus Geb is definitely in Bacchus' favour. There's not a whole lot Geb can do to stop Bacchus doing anything he so wants, because now Belcher of the Gods makes him knock-up immune! So you can't knock him up at the exact same time to cause him an issue. We're level 2, we're not taking a skill yet. I'm glad we're not taking a skill and we're actually waiting patiently to find out exactly what's going to go in the lane. Do we need the shield or not? Shockwave again. Ooh. Shield was okay there, although a little bit late. If you would have done it a little bit earlier, you would have taken the less poke from that belly flop. Knockup's fine there. Relax and just go back again. The relaxing passive life of a Geb in lane. There's not a whole lot more you can really do here. Just press 2 and it's off cooldown. The interesting thing will come is when you're choosing to max first your shield or your shockwave. It depends on the situation and stuff like that. Shockwave is good. Shield. Why are we not popping a health potion now? That was the latest health potion in existence popped there. That should have been popped a lot earlier than it actually was. Big caps are spawning. You're going to walk over to them. You don't need to... Why are we going around the back? Where are we going? We ganking? We chose to ward over mid camps. No! No, don't ever do that again. Right, if Bacchus If Bacchus would have just gone to these straight away, burped and hogged, you just lost these mid-camps for free. You beat him to the mid-camps on your rotation, but then you chose to ward instead, which was really odd. You should have gone for the mid-camps straight away on this one, not gone for what you chose to do there on rotating around to put the ward down. Now you're going to have to contest. You let him have him? And now what you're going to do? Walk towards a Ra, you're dead. This was just your misplay. So, you misplayed that by going for the ward. You shouldn't have warded that. You should have been straight for the mid camps into the safety. You let them rotate into you. You gave it the mid harpies. You tried to rotate back to lane to support your teammates, but your teammates were in a position to support you. Your first death was definitely your own fault on that decision to ward. Wards are cool and all, but don't just do it over prioritizing other things. Like, that was priority on mid camps then. You needed to hit 5. And Geb in the early game is very, very weak. Checking with you again. You roll out back to lane again. You should hit level 5 with this minion wave now. We got 2 more wards, 2 health potions, got boots online. It's a trap, as Admiral Akbar would say. Oh, we're not shockwaving. Is he stacking? Is he stacking already? He's not stacking, just shockwave this. Get the wave pushed in. We roll out to mid lane to try and support Scylla here. She's under pressure, so he can farm up mid a bit. Thor's going around for a gank potential. Keep an eye on Thor. Is he going to go up? No, he's going to shockwave the creeps. Now, what you just did there was you stopped these minions walking forward, which means Scylla can't crush. And now you've pulled them all out of the crush. And now she's like, oh. And now you're going to get hit by a full minion wave. For free. Watch the position of your skills, okay? Watch the position of your skills. What you chose to do there by walking into that minion wave just stops him clearing the wave. Clearing the wave, I should say. And then causes issues for you going forward. Because you took a necessary poke you need to. Where are we going? What is this adventure time about? It's adventure time with Purely right now, and I don't get the adventure time that's going on here. What's available on the map for you to do? Do you need to be over in the solo lane right now? No. Why should you not be over in the solo lane? Because Gold Fury is still available. Is Gold Fury actually warded right now? No, it's not. You do have some vision around the Gold Fury, though, to see them going for it. But by rotating over to the right-hand line, you take yourself out of the possibility of defending the Gold Fury if they go for it, which they could do if they spot you over here. Second of all, what else is available? Your purple buff is available. Anher's on his way back to lane. You could start that buff and drop it with him now. You could also take back Harpies here on the left-hand side of the map, but you choose to go and try and rotate over to the right-hand side. What is the play? I don't get this play. You don't get assist. You do get a little bit of farm. Roll out through mid lane. We should really take a wave here while we're on the way, by the way. Just shockwave the wave on the way back. You lose an experience by all these rotations. I'm not getting anything else out of it. You rotate all the way over to support the Anher now. Anher's not really in trouble yet, just to be clear. He's not in trouble. I'm just going to pause and check to make sure. Anher is not in trouble. He's 0-0-0. He's actually even right now. You said Anher was in trouble in this game. He's not in trouble at all. He's completely fine in the situation he's in right now. Your decision to do the buff then was probably not the wisest. You should have waited for the minion wave, go to the minion wave first. Why don't we channel rollout? Do you notice how late she was on noticing you were there? If you would have rolled out through the jungle, you could have immunity'd her with your knockback to knock her into the tower. She would have died then. She could have potentially died. Good shield. Good shield though. Health potion pop. Pop your health potion. Pop your health potion. Hey! Pops his health potion. A little bit late. Want to pop your health potion sooner rather than later. Get them ticking. Takes a while for them to be useful. Your purple buff is still standing. And some of this comes down to you being on the other side of the map for that Hercules attempt to gank, which you didn't need to do. And they've got pressure on again. Don't eat free poke. Let the minions come into tower. It's up to the Anher to farm. Shockwave is fine there. Even though he uses a couple of stacks for that, it's okay. They're looking for the purple buff. Do not rotate that way around for it. It's probably the riskiest way to rotate around. Thor's coming over. You should have called that they're on the buff. Your mid camps have spawned 2. You're going to lose purple buff for free. And some of this is your fault. Oh no! Kill it! Oh no! The Hog of Destiny was not good. And now you're probably going to die. Cataclysm. Roll. 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 Got no mana. That's why you can't roll. I realise now why you can't roll. They might turn this one around. So here's the worst issue about this. We're going to pause for a second. What happened so far? We've been level 6 for quite a while now. We rotated all the way over to solo lane. We didn't get anything out of it. We didn't get an assist there. We went mid lane. Didn't get anything there. We rotated back to the duo lane. What do? We just got poked down. We lost the purple buff, so we lost experience there as well. And we have to go back to base again. We missed the purple as well, which is really unfortunate. And you don't get assists for the Artemis because it just took too long for your teammates to bring it down. And so you put yourself in a rough spot. Reinforced Greaves is fine in this composition. Just for the CC reduction, which is a fine item to be picking up as Geb. And Blink is now online. 2 wards and a mana potion this time round. No farm for you to get again, so you're getting yourself further and further behind. Get these wards down. Ward 1, Ward 2. Relax. Well, why no shield? Why no shield then? Why are we not using our shield? We know he's going to continue going aggressive. That shield will prevent a little bit of damage. Should be shielding. No reason not to. What are you saving it for? Christmas? Like, shield. Now we're going to roll back in again. And look to defend the mid laner. Well, the mid laner's already dead. We're not going to find anything there. Don't just walk up to him. You're in half health. We've got no health potions. They might be doing Gold Fury right now. You should see this on the map. Rollout comes in. You've only got Hog 1. Pause. Let's check something. Press tab. What does Bacchus have? Bacchus has Hog 2. You do have Cataclysm and Shockwave. You can steal this, but it's not easy. The worst thing is you're also at half health. The other thing is you're already at half. Worst thing is you're at half health. Second thing is you've not got Hog 3, which is understandable. We'll watch it and see how it goes in semi-slow-mo. This is a hero play. You could do this. Oh! Okay. One thing you could have done here, you might steal this here, okay? But what you did is you pressed your right mouse button when you got here to cancel your knockback. You could have knocked back and moved Bacchus miles away from this. You might steal this, actually. I think you will. Hog! Hog! Oh, you didn't get it! All you had to do was hog and you had that. You actually had that because he hogged early. Shields. Shields. Shield him. Shield him. Shield him. Shield him. Shield anyone! Shield someone! Shield anyone! So, from this moment, our shield was off cooldown. And I don't see you use it. Once. Why don't we use our shield? Do we not like shields? Is this why we're not maxing it either? Because we just don't like using it? Opportunities for shields. You ready? Shield yourself. Shield the Anhur now when he's been hit by all that combo. Just don't even use the shield. Just don't use it. Why don't we use it? I don't understand. You've got the mana for it. Use the shields! Love of God! That's one of the best things in Geb's kit. That's why Geb gets played so much, is the shield is OP. It's OP. Use it. Right, you're back alive again. We have Hog 2. 2 mana potions, 2 wards. Doing back harpies. Why don't you just hog these? The Gold Fury is down. Just hog it. Just hug it. It'll take you a while to beat it down otherwise. Just hug it. Move on. Move on with your life. Mid camps are coming up soon. Farmer waving mid first. Okay, that two's fine. Be careful the route you're taking though, because you're getting yourself pinned into a gap here. Had to use it defensively again. I feel back is like 2 levels ahead of us here. On his level. Okay, it felt like more. Felt like more. Vermana's in trouble. Oh, Vermana was in trouble. He's dead. Never mind. Blink. Oh, unfortunately you got aggro from minions. See, this is the thing that people sometimes do, okay? And this is why I'm going to put this one up. It's really strange, is that what I want to talk about is that people always seem to think that they had to do something because somebody was losing or somebody was winning or something was wrong in a lane, okay? And at 10 minutes in, 11 minutes in the game now, that's the first time we've actually seen Anhur die, okay? Anhur's literally just died now. And when you set this replay in, You stated in the replay that you felt like you had to stay in this lane more because he was losing lane, and he was really struggling with it. It was only a 20-minute game. It was, I'll just quote you word for word. What aspects of the game do you struggle with? Staying in lane with my AD carry as he had problems dealing with Artemis and team fights. Now, in lane, he didn't really have problems with the Artemis, I'll be honest. I mean, looking at the situation right now, he's not that far behind. He's a little bit behind in gold because of the gold fury, and he's making the mistakes himself in the 1v1 duels, but that's nothing to do with you. There's no reason for you to be there. If you were there, he'd be further behind in experience, which means he wouldn't be level 10, he'd probably be level 9 right about now, which isn't the best thing for him to really be. He may feel like, you know, you're not doing enough for him to support, but there's not a whole lot you could really do that'd be different by you being there. You'd actually put him further behind, and you may not realize that, and he may not realize that, but that's the biggest key that you need to work on, is like realizing what the mistakes actually were that you did make. Okay, the mistakes you've made so far is not using your shields. Your decision to farm over warding is one thing as well, and where you're going to get your farm to. Like at the moment, you're jumping up and down with a Bacchus. Why are we jumping up and down with a Bacchus? What's this going to get you? A jump party with a fat man who's a level ahead of you? He's going to be happy to jump with you because you're still not farming and he's still ahead of you. You could be in mid lane right now getting that farm that Thor's getting. Instead, you're going to turn up to the lane now that the minion wave's dead, and Ra's going to be there too. And a monkey. And now this jumping has got you killed. That's why you don't jump party. That's why you don't jump. And now we watch the rest of your teammates die too. What else could be going on? Well, you missed the mid lane in mid, the wave in mid, and then on top of that, you then missed the purple buff being done by your boy Anher, which means you lost experience there as well. Meanwhile, Bacchus still on the map, still involved in fights, still getting experience in gold. You're putting yourself further behind. Jump parties are not worthwhile. They're only worthwhile if you're winning, and even then. So we got full hog free. We're not that tanky yet, we're still only level 8. We need sovereignty before we still start getting tanky. Look at the steel mail minimum before we're really tanky. Be very, very careful about what you choose to do here. You've not got Cataclysm. Right. To be clear, you're stood on the front lines here, yeah? Have they got pick potential on you? Yes, because you're only level 8. B, Cataclysm's on cooldown. C, Shockwave's on cooldown. Why are we stood here? Are they on the tower? No. So why do I need to stand this far forward? I can stand this far back. I can stand this far back. Why? Because if I need to, I can blink to get into the front line again anyway. At the same time, I'm not going to take unnecessary damage from being on the front line like this. Shield. Yeah, you shield yourself! Ooh. What exactly did we do in that fight? That's the next thing to watch on this one. Just going to wait for you to respawn. Here we go. Now in this fight, what exactly is it you do before you have to go back to base again? That's the question you need to ask yourself. What exactly did I get out of this engagement? Did I do anything of use? Did I do anything of use in this engagement? I pressed 2. Then the ultimate start. You roll out. Is there a reason to try and roll out and slow somebody here? The rollout is going to do 100 damage. And it's going to slow for 1 second. You hit the Ra, and that's the end of your engagement pretty much there. Instead of trying to work out what you should be doing now, you should be looking for shields. That's the next thing you need to be doing. That's all you need to be doing now, because that's the only thing you can do, is looking to shield people. So, you've got 2 shield targets. One is on the Thor. If you shield the Thor there, he's going to get immunity from the Infernal Evil. Number 2, the other one you can option on is the shield onto Scylla. In the end, you use it on yourself to get yourself out of trouble where you get yourself pinned in. And that was your engagement. You press Shockwave, you press Rollout, and back to base we go again. Meanwhile, how's Bacchus doing? Because I want to check in the enemy support. He's now 2 levels ahead of you. 2 levels ahead of you. Because we're not getting much farm and we're not really doing anything. So you turn up in the lane to defend. Why are we this far forward is a level 9 gap? This is what you got to think about. Why are we up here? The minion wave's not going to be pushed into tower because there's a new minion wave coming. You're going to deny farm from the Anher, but at the same time you want Anher to be here with you. In the jungle though, meanwhile, Anher's found a Hercules. When you're looking at a minion wave, you're not looking at the minimap. Where's you looking at the minimap here? You're focusing on creeps. Look at the minimap. Anher's trapped. Thor's around there. You're not looking at the minimap. You need to keep an eye on it. Look at the minimap. Now you've seen the minimap, and you're like, oh crap. Did we need to roll out? We didn't really need to roll out. We could just walk round. Shield over the wall was okay. Are we still going aggressive here? Why are we still going aggressive here? What can they take? Red buff. Is this really worthwhile going into this fight? This decision making of where you chose to path here, not good. Cataclysm used to disengage, not to engage again. Now you've got nothing else to survive with, so you're going to die here. Purely, I'm going to start the replay here, okay? Going forward, what you need to work on is your decision making on farm, okay? Farm, 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 farm. Straight away, those first mid camps. You stated in the replay that you sent in as well that you said you felt okay with your rotations and your mid camps. Let me see it. What else with the game did you feel comfortable with? Rotating, timings, and warding. Well, you're rotating. You did rotate and try to support the team. I agree. Okay, so your rotations were okay. Your timings were not good because you were not there for any mid camp whatsoever. You may have been around at those mid camps, but you weren't really there. Let's be honest. You could have taken the mid camps at the 3-minute mark, and you didn't. You chose to ward instead. And your warding priority, not necessarily the best idea of that situation. Your rotation to solo lane was very, very strange and awkward, just because you left the opportunity for the gold for you to be contested or be stolen away, and then you think that you were worried about your hunter losing lane. Well, your hunters losing lane because they are basically being pushed under by the gold differential. It's nothing to do with you not being there that's caused an issue. You've warded up for them. For the most part, if they lose a 1v1 fight, that happens sometimes. There's not a whole lot you can do. You can try and potentially gank if they overextend, but for the most part, you need to be roaming and farming a little bit better than you are doing. Look at the level difference right now. Level 11 to level 9 in the support role. That's the big key when you're playing support, is to stay equal or above the enemy support that you're against. If you press tab on the screen now, 5,900 gold, 5,100 gold, and that is a gold fury that's also involved in that too. So take away the gold fury, and you can see that you're about 400 or 500 gold behind, but also 2 levels of experience. And 2 levels of experience is quite a lot for a support player. You need to work on that going forward. Make sure you focus on farm, as always. Everybody needs to focus on farm. It's all what the game is about, is getting farm, getting gold, getting bigger, getting stronger, getting items. Work it, make it, use it, make it harder, better, faster. Yeah, that don't kill me. It can only make me stronger. I know I'm singing that song, but it makes a lot of sense because it was like, farm, get bigger, get stronger. Go into the later games so you can actually get there in the first instance. But at the moment, you just miss out on way, way too much farm. Good luck in your future games, buddy. You can play better than that, though. Sure.